All right, first you want to make sure you have the necessary tools. You'll need a Phillips head screwdriver. You'll need a ReKey kit with pins probably 0 through 9. You'll need a follower, which should come with your ReKey kit. You're going to need the original key and the key that came with their core lock, so you're going to need 2 keys, and that's pretty much it. You can also have this like little tool to help you remove the cap off of the back of the cylinder. It's not necessary. You can actually just use something pointed to get the cap off to push in the pin, but this little tool definitely makes it a lot easier. And you also might need a key gauge if your current key doesn't have the numbers directly written on the key. That way you can measure what pins you need to put in there directly right off the key. It's really easy to use, but if you have the code like I do, which by the way, the code that you see on this key is not my actual key. This is a test just for this demo. So first thing you want to do is remove the lock cylinder. On the back of their core lock, there's a little like weather seal. You can just pry that weather seal up on the bottom. It's going to pop right off. And under there, you're going to see 3 little Phillips screws. Take those out and then take off that back cover. Inside, you'll now have access to the lock cylinder. There's 2 more screws and a little bracket that you'll have to remove that's holding in that cylinder. And once you do that, the whole cylinder can just pull right out. Now at this point, go ahead and put their core key into the cylinder. It's just going to make it a lot easier to hold on to. And if you have that little tool I was talking about earlier to remove the back cap, you can use that tool right now. You just want to push in the pin and give that cap a turn. If you don't have this tool, you just have to use a pin or Phillips head screwdriver, push in that back pin and then start turning. That pin's probably going to come up a few times and you're just going to have to keep on doing it until that back cap comes off, screws off. And once you unscrew the end cap, the whole tail will come off with it. Be careful, the pin that you were pushing down has a spring underneath. You want to take that pin out and probably the spring also so you don't lose it. If you drop it on the floor and the carpet, it's just going to be a bad day for you. So make sure you put that on the side and you can reinstall that later. And the tail usually has a little circular piece inside. You can put that back together. Also, just take a look at where that is so you can know where to place it. And now here's where you need the follower. This is extremely important. If you don't use a follower and you pull off, I don't know what that piece is called, like that bar that's on top of where the pins are, there's other pins inside that will pop out with little springs. The purpose of this follower is to keep those pins and springs inside that little sleeve. If you don't do that, they're all going to pop out and you're not going to have a fun day. So put the follower on the back and then push off that sleeve right onto it. And that way you get access to the lower pins. Go ahead and pop out all those lower pins. You probably don't know what numbers they are anyways. Use your key from your original Schlage lock, or if you have to measure it, use the little key gauge to measure your current key and put in the pin numbers in order. And if you did it right, you can actually switch out the core key for your current key, and those pins should line up nice and straight, and none of them should stick down, none of them should stick up. It should be completely flat on the cylinder if you did it correctly. And now go ahead and take your follower and push the body back on to the cylinder. Hopefully that goes well for you. Just make sure it's all next to each other and nice and even, and you shouldn't have any issues. And once it's back on, you'll be able to put the tail and the cap back on. You can use the tool if you have it, otherwise you're gonna have to use a screwdriver or a pin to push that pin back in. And then everything else is just in reverse. You just want to put it back into the housing, put the bracket on, put the screws on, put the back door on, put the little weather strip on, and you're good to go. It's super easy. And for those who are wondering, yes, you can use the cylinder from the U50, rekey it, and bring it into the U100. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope this video was helpful. See you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.